How's everybody doing tonight? Fantastic. How many people are here and this is your first 5 Links business opportunity meeting by a show of hands? Fantastic. This is really for you to show you what 5 Links is really all about, to show you the power of possibility. And it gives me an extreme honor and a privilege to introduce our speaker this evening. This gentleman is a tremendous leader. He's a trailblazer in this company, tremendous family man. He actually is just coming, he's just getting here from into Fort Lauderdale through Texas, and he actually just was blessed with his 4th child just 12 days ago. But his commitment, he's here tonight because he's passionate about helping other people, to talk about some of his accomplishments. I mean, just an incredible, inspiring leader, a champion. He actually was the first Platinum Senior Vice President in 5 Links history. He achieved the position of Senior Vice President in 52 days, set the record. And he was the first double Platinum Senior Vice President in 5 Links. So what does that all mean to you if you're a guest? It means he's very accomplished. He knows this business inside and out. And not only has he done it for himself and his family, but he's helped many other individuals achieve success within this opportunity. And that's really what he's passionate about. Today, he actually has an organization of over 40,000 independent representatives. He gets paid on close to 100,000 customers every month. So would you say that he has some accomplishments? So there couldn't be anybody better to share with you the information this evening, to tell you about our great company and what the opportunity has in store for you. So what I encourage you to do is just listen over the next 30 minutes with an open mind and see the possibilities that 5 Links can bring for you and your family, just on this gentleman's story and the success that he's brought for his family. So please stand up and give a warm welcome to top producing double platinum Senior Vice President, Mr. Steve Carter.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Wow. Good evening, 5 Links. You guys can do better than that. Good evening, 5 Links. This is an exciting time in our company, and I'll tell you what. First of all, let me find this out. How many of you here are here for the very first time as a guest? Raise your hand. Let's give them a 5 Links welcome for being here. I also want to say something very briefly about the gentleman that was just on this stage. You know, what you may not know, and I think is incredible, is that we've got some of the most down-to-earth individuals in this company that actually are the co-founders of the company. And what I love is, with me being experienced in this industry, over 15 years in the industry, having met a lot of individuals, having been very successful, one of the things that I really respect, and one of the things that means a lot to me, is the fact that I've become very good friends with the owners. And I think if you can be in business with people that you genuinely care about, you can go a long way. And I think this company is destined to do some huge things. And partly one of the 3 reasons, and now one of the 4 reasons, because we've got another gentleman that's been added to the corporate realm. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons that we are where we are is because of Executive Vice President, Mr. Jason Gook. So let's give it back to our co-founder, Mr. Jason Gook. Well, listen, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share this information. And let me just say this. One of the reasons that I ask all the new people who's here for the first time is because it seems like yesterday. It's been 15 years since I've been in this industry, but it seems like yesterday that I was sitting in the audience, listening to an opportunity the same way you are. As a matter of fact, a dear friend of mine from college, after we graduated, it didn't take us long to realize that we just did not want to have to work for somebody else for the rest of our lives. Once we got into the work world, we realized quickly we didn't want to do this for 40 years. So we started looking around, and I truly believe that the good Lord has a way of showing up when you need him, because what happened for me was I actually was in downtown Chicago, and a friend of mine called me and said, listen, I think I found a way for us to make some pretty serious money. And that was all he had to say to me. And I ended up meeting with this individual, sat down, and I got some information very similar to what I'm going to share with you tonight. And I ended up taking full advantage of what I heard, because the 2 reasons that I ended up even meeting with him is, number one, he told me in that initial conversation that based on what he had seen, he did not think that there was any limitations on how much money we could make. So that got me interested right off the bat. But the second reason that I ended up coming to sit down and listen to the information was because even to this day, he's one of my best friends. And I knew that he would only get me to come look at something that he genuinely felt good about. So I ended up coming out and I sat down and I listened to a concept, just like what I'm going to share with you tonight. And after they got finished explaining this information, I looked at him, he looked at me, and I said, you know what? If this is above board, I'm in. Because it was brand new to me. I didn't know what I was looking at. But everything that was shared made a whole bunch of sense. And I'm telling you, what I've learned now is that when things make sense, they make dollars. And I ended up getting involved in this industry because it made common sense with what was shared with me. And so once I got involved in the industry, I decided I was going to just go all the way. And it's amazing how you can make a split decision, a very quick decision, and it can be financially life-altering. And many of you that are here tonight, the same thing is going to take place, because I want you to understand right off the bat that there is nothing different from me or any of the other leaders that have had tremendous success. There's nothing different between us and any of you that are here looking at this for the first time. And I know that there are a lot of people, especially in this economic climate, I know there's a lot of people that are looking for a way to generate some income. Yes or yes? Yes. So I know that this can be a blessing to you if you take what we're sharing seriously. And the fact that I've done this for many years, I want you to understand, all I want to do tonight is be a vessel for information. I want you to be able to walk out of these doors after we get done with this and have a full understanding of the concept of how this works. And if you like what you see, the way many of us obviously liked what we saw, then we welcome you to the family and let's make some money together. Is that fair? Yes. So with that being said, I want to dive right into this and let you know who we are as a company and what's possible for you and your family. Obviously, the name of our company is what? 5 Links. Can somebody say 5 Links? 5 Links. That's the name of our company. And let me tell you who we are. We are simply a direct selling telecommunications and technology company, and we're also now a reseller of utilities. And here's the thing, we're actually allowing independent representatives to get involved and actually go out and acquire customers for our company. And as you acquire customers for our company will then turn around and pay you the same way the company makes money, which is residually. Because the fact that we market telecommunications services, how many of you understand that telecom bills are paid every 30 days? Am I correct? Yes. And what's even more exciting about that is you can never pay a telecom bill off. So let me tell you, this creates a continuous cash flow. And not only is it a continuous cash flow, but because you can't pay these telecom bills off, it's an ongoing continuous cash flow. And what I love most is that the company puts absolutely no limits whatsoever on how many thousands of people that you can be in a position that just because they are customers of our company, even people you don't know, even people you don't sign up, and I'm going to teach you what I mean by that. But every single 30 days, because they're a customer and they fall in your customer base, which will teach you how to build, how about every 30 days you're getting paid just because those people are paying their bills? Is that exciting? Yeah. And the fact that the company says, listen, we're not going to put any limitations whatsoever on how many thousands of people you can get paid on. And we don't care how long it takes. We don't care how fast you do it. Just build whatever you want to build. And now you've got many individuals that in this industry have made millions of dollars, such as myself, that are very successful in what we do. And all we want to do, we feel a blessing's a blessing when we can give it away. We've got a miracle in our mouths. And we want to share it with every single one of you in here. So I want to go into detail and share with you exactly who we are, why we do what we do. And I think what's important is this. You've got to first establish a reason why you need to do this. There's so many reasons. I mean, you may want to spend more time with your family. You may want to diversify your income. How many of you wouldn't mind having another stream of income coming in on top of what you're doing right now? How many of you wouldn't mind that? Would that be a good thing? I don't know anybody that would turn down additional income. Not to mention, how many of you wouldn't mind paying off some debt? Would that be a good thing? Would that remove some of the stress in your life? How many of you wouldn't mind being able to pay for a child's college fund, even if you don't have kids yet? How many of you wouldn't mind being able to give to charities and be more philanthropic? Wouldn't you love to do that? And what about the fact that, what if you can just get money as an issue totally out of the way? Because let me tell you this, folks, money is only an issue when there's a lack thereof. Nobody's focused on money when you've got it in the bank. You understand that? So I want you to understand, once you establish your why, there's nobody other than the person that looks back at you in that mirror that can stop you from doing this. And I've always said, and I'm going to continue to say this for the rest of my life, in a business like ours, what's so very unique is the fact that the computer promotes you. Now, people hear that and they think it's a cliche, but I want you to understand what I mean. That just simply means discrimination is not in this. We don't care what color, what gender, what background, what education, credit, friends, size, any of that, hair color, none of that matters. You finally have a level playing field where you can get involved in something, and if you do what it takes to win, you will. And to me, that's the most refreshing thing I've ever seen when it comes to business, where you can play on the level of anybody else that you see having success. So with that, I want you to understand the background of the company. The company was started in 2001. So we are established, am I right? So we've gotten past all of the humps of being a startup company. We are an established company celebrating a 10-year anniversary. Not only that, the co-founders collectively, they got over 50 years of experience. So these guys got together, merged their talents, and built 5links, and look what it's become today. And you got to realize that we've got tremendous growth, 800% growth rate in the last 4 years. Now I want you to just put that in perspective. If your money grew 50%, would you be happy? Yeah. We all know if your money grew 100%, you doubled up. Am I right? Yeah. So 800% is 5links rocking. Yeah. You better believe it. Not only that, but look, the company injected about $7 million into a 50,000 square foot world headquarters just to house the employees that are going to represent for you. So you have to understand everything's in place. And the reason I think this company is breaking records and doing all that it's doing is because they have a simple philosophy that's monumental in results. And all that is that they put the representatives first. Yeah. And let me tell you what that means. They understand that if we're happy, if you're happy, or if you're making money, you're happy. If you're happy, you'll stick around. If you stick around, you'll keep building it. And if you keep building it, it will keep growing. So that philosophy alone has put us in a position to have all this growth that we're having right now. So you have to understand, it is up to you to get this done. Now, how many of you have ever heard the expression that documentation beats conversation? Yes. All that simply means, folks, is that we are documented. This is credible. You can do your due diligence. We've been featured in so many different business publications, such as Your Business from Home, such as Direct Selling News, Inc. 500, that one blew me away. Inc. 500, there's a magazine, everybody's familiar with Inc. Most people are, especially those that are savvy in business. You understand that Inc. comes out with an edition every year called the Inc. 500. They rank the 500 fastest growing privately held companies. Now think about this. In North America, privately held, fastest 500. Think about what city you live in. If you live in a big city, you probably got 500 companies in your downtown area. So for us to be amongst the top 500 fastest growing nationwide, are we kicking some you know what? Yeah. You better believe it. And we've done that for 4 years in a row. And last I checked, we were the only company of our kind to have ever done that. You get that? So this is not on trial, folks. This is not on trial. And I just believe that when you can pick up a magazine and do your due diligence, look, you don't have to rely on the person whom invited you here tonight. Do your research, do your due diligence, check everything out that we're sharing. Now let's get right into the meat. I want you to understand why I think the opportunity is incredible. Timing in business is everything. How many of you have heard the expression, being at the right place at the what? Right time. Right time. Let me tell you how that relates to you with this company. Is that we remember back in the 80s when the computer was born. And then in the mid-80s, deregulation took place where they broke up the monopoly, allowed competition to come in with telecommunications. Then in the 90s, the internet was born. It doesn't seem like long ago that we didn't know what www meant. Now, people can't survive without being online. So you have to understand, technology is constantly evolving. And then in 2000s, now we've got this thing called voice over internet protocol. Some people call it VoIP. It's voice over internet protocol. It just means you're able to get digital phone service using your existing high-speed internet connection. No more sticking your phone cord in your wall with fiber optics and having a telephone pole in the back. That's going to be a thing of the past. Now, if you've got internet, regardless of who your provider is, as long as you get the adapter, you stick your internet connection in there, then you stick your phone cord in the same adapter, and you've got digital phone service. And you can portably take your number anywhere in the world, as long as you've got internet, and somebody can call your number no matter where you are. And it'll still be a domestic call if they're calling from your city. No matter where you are, you can be in another country, and it'll be a local call to them if they call your number. So technology and telecommunications is changing. It's evolving like nothing we've ever seen. Not only that, but now we are in the process of launching 5 Links Energy. Are you guys excited about that? Now, here's what's exciting to me. Let's get this. Let's talk some business here. Here's what's exciting to me. Is that every single aspect of bills that people are paying in their households, we've covered now. Look, I was proud when we used to say, look, we can cover your phone bill, your cellular bill, your satellite TV bill, we can get your internet service, we can get you all these services. But there was only one little thing we hadn't gotten into, which included gas and electricity. And now we can say we've got every single utility bill that somebody has to pay every single month where we can actually give them service. Is that exciting? So you're not having to convince somebody, hey, try this thing called a phone. Or you know what, I'm going to introduce you to these things called lights. They've already got it. All we're saying is that we can also give them that service that they're already having to pay a bill on every single day. Yes or yes? Yes. So get that. Not only that, look at what the energy sector can do. 5 Links Energy. Look at some of the things that this is going to allow for all of us. It's giving the consumers around the globe choices when these states are deregulating. And when it comes to energy, it's 10 times the size of telecommunications. Can you get excited about that? Energy monopolies are being broken up with natural gas and light. So all that means is now you can actually start saying to yourself that you can seriously make money when folks are getting hungry and cooking on a gas stove. Folks, you're getting paid when people are coming home and turning the lights on. Look, your friends are going to wonder why you walking in the house just turning lights on. The bottom line is these are some times that nobody is used to getting paid on. And every single one of us in this room has an ability to do that. Not only that, global links. This is exciting. The fact that voice over IP, look at some of the benefits of VoIP. Cutting the phone service by up to 50%. Look, if you could have a choice between paying more or less for a bill you already pay, which would you rather? Less. You choose that 10 out of 10 times. So if you can come to somebody and offer them a savings with voice over IP, they're going to at least entertain that conversation. Not only that, 44 million households are projected to be using VoIP by 2013, which is right around the corner. So you have to understand, just being at the right place at the right time can change your family if you are understanding what we're sharing here. Not only that, we've got exclusivity with the brand Global Links. 5 Links owns the company Global Links. So we have our own network, which is exciting. Not just for residential, but also for commercial. And then because all this technology is allowing us to do all these fancy things, we've got Wi-Fi accessibility and mobile where we can download an app onto these smartphones and use voice over IP through Global Links. All these things that we never dreamed of being able to make money on. And not only that, we've got a multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art network right in upstate New York. So everything's in place when it comes to anybody in this room becoming successful if you choose to. Now, let's talk about the rest of these services. 5 Links Mobile. How many people in this room you either have or know somebody that has a cell phone? Raise your hand. Look around the room, folks. 100% of the room has their hand up. So you have to understand, we're contracted with 4 of the major carriers in the U.S. So all the major carriers that people are very familiar with, you can sign other people, family members, friends, co-workers, neighbors, sign them up on these services that they're already familiar with, and because they're your customer, you become a financial benefactor. Not only that, we've got home security. I always jokingly say, look, if you've got all this fancy technology in your house, you need to have an alarm on there too. So if you got home security through 5 Links, we've also got high-speed internet, satellite TV through the 2 biggest satellite carriers in the nation. Also, we've got 5 Links identity theft, which is one of the fastest growing crimes in the United States. So we've got a way for you to protect your identity. And then we're launching a brand new service called Business Elite Services. And I'm telling you right now, many of you, this is going to be brand new to you getting the understanding of what this is. But we're going to be rolling this out tomorrow, and you're going to be blown away when you understand what Business Elite Services is. This is going to be one of the hottest products that we have in our company. Look, I'll give you a quick sneak peek and understanding of just generally what it is. Business Services is going to include one thing that comes in Business Elite Services is that you're going to be able to have tech support. So with your computer, you're going to have like a Geek Squad type of thing where you can actually have people be able to do work on your computer either via the internet where you can chat with them, or somebody will actually come out live and be able to fix your computer. Not only that, but you're going to also have texting services with these short codes, and you're going to be able to also market that. Then we're going to have a webinar service in there as well. So all kind of exciting things in Business Elite Services. So this is a brand new product that we're rolling out, and I personally think it's one of the hottest products we have. So when you think about the fact that we've got every single base covered, I just believe that every single one of us can do some big things with our family. So let's talk about how you get paid in this business. There are really two things that we do, and I want you to get this. I want you to focus in on this part because this is the reason everybody came, to find out how you can make money doing this. The two things that we do: we're saving people money on services that they're already using, or at least matching their bills. The other thing we're doing is we're showing others how they can get involved in this and build a network and build an organization so that they can also get paid doing this as well. So those are the two things we're doing: saving people money and helping others make money. But now, when you get started in our business, the one thing we want you to understand is that you can come in and immediately earn a bonus just by getting started and doing some fundamental things out of the gate. For example, when you come in the business, you'll be able to get in, and when you get your first 20 customer points, you'll get a $500 bonus as long as you do that within your 30 days. Now, here's the one thing I want to point out and remind you, and talk to especially the new people, is that the 20 points means 20 services. So I want you to understand each service counts as a separate point. So first of all, one person can be multiple customers. Who should be your first and best customer? Yourself. So think about this. If you got on the cell phone service through any of the carriers, each phone counts as a customer. Then if you get the home security, you get high-speed internet, you get satellite TV, you get ID Guard, you get Business Elite, you've got Platinum Service. You can end up with 8, 9, 10 customers out of your own house because you're utilizing these services anyway. So we're saying if you get a total of 20 from all your family members and friends, you'll get a $500 bonus just for getting that done. Then we're going to teach you how to at least get 2 people that want to get involved with this in the business, help them get their initial customers, and when they do that, as long as you do this within 30 days, another $250 bonus will be paid. So a total of $750 can be paid to you within your first 30 days. How many of you in this room would love $750 in your first 30 days of starting a brand new business that you're excited about? So this is awesome. Now, let me explain to you how this works. Here's an example. When you start getting involved in this business, you're going to share this with other people. I talked about the two things we do: saving people money and then also getting people involved. Well, here's the thing. What about if this was making sense to somebody you was talking to, and they ended up deciding to get involved? Let's say you got 3 people in. If you look on the board, what if those 3 knew 3? Well, then you'd have 9 more business partners that you don't even know. What if they know 3? Now you got 27 more. What if they know 3? 81 more. What if they know 3? 243, 729, 2187, 6,561. Let me tell you something. In this example, exponentially, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes down. And the example shows you that everyone is doing the same thing, which is getting how many people? 3. Here's the good news. There's no limit to how many people you can get. But even if you did 3, you can still wind up with thousands. So before we even get to thousands, which many of us have been blessed to have built, before you get to that, let's just say you built a team where you ended up with 20 people on your team. You think you can get 20? You can do that in your first week. You get 20 people in your organization. You don't have to know all 20. Let's just say you ended up getting 3, but 17 others came through those 3. You don't know the 17, but they're on your team. So guess what? When those 20 are in your business, we're going to teach everybody to go out and get 20 customers. But remember, a customer is a service, not a person. So if they get their customers sign up themselves on all the services they can sign up for themselves, they'll wind up with probably almost 10 customers themselves. Then they talk to a few family members, a few friends, they'll wind up with their 20. Now here's when the magic kicks in. When all your business partners are each getting their 20, it's multiplying. Because if 20 people are getting 20 customers, that's 400 customers. Now 5 Links is going to pay out a commission value on these customers. So for example, with our Global Link service, there's a $4 commission value. So here's the thing. What percentage of that $4 do you earn? Well, you're going to earn a piece of that depending on what position you hold in the company and who got that customer. But let's just say that you were averaging 50 cents on all the customers in your organization, even those you didn't sign up, even those you don't know, even those you've never met and never will meet, but they're in your base. And you're earning a little 50 cents. 50 cents doesn't sound like a whole lot of money, does it? But 50 cents on something you didn't do every 30 days on an unlimited amount of people and never ever stopping adds up. Because if you had 400 customers, that little 50 cents, that's going to pay you $200 a month. Now, how many of you in this room could use an extra $200 showing up every 30 days even if you didn't do anything else? Raise your hand. How many of you not going to raise your hand no matter what I ask you? Here's the point. 200 may not retire you, but $200 is still $200. I know if there were two crispy $100 bills right there on the floor, somebody would bend over. And if a gust of wind came through this auditorium, y'all be running through this auditorium. Am I right? So 200 is still 200. But the point is, if you can generate a $200 residual with just 20 people in your team, why would you stop there? What if you continue to build it and instead of 20 people, you built a team of 200 and they still got their 20 customers and you still earn that small 50 cents? Now we're talking, because now you're earning $2,000 a month. I don't have to ask anybody in here if 2,000 showing up every 30 days is a good thing. How many of you agree anytime you've got a comma in your check, that's a good check? Especially when the first digit is not even a 1. Am I right? So the point is, if you can make $2,000 every 30 days on something you already did, and even if you stopped, it kept coming in, would that change your life? Here's what you need to understand then. There is no limit on how big of a team you can build, which means there's no limit on the results. I've always taught my organization, look, in order to focus on the dollar amount at the bottom, focus on the number of people in the organization. And by default, the dollar amount goes up. So the bigger you can build a team, everybody doing a little bit over a long period of time. That's the philosophy. That's the concept. You don't even have to find the superstar will find you. But if you start just talking to people and finding out who's interested in generating some income and who knows some other people that would like to save some money or try your telecom services, that little simple transaction can generate millions of dollars if you build it accurately. So think about this. If you add another 0 to the 200, what would you have to do to the 2,000? Add another 0. So there is no limit. Now, that's one way we get paid, but how about every single time a new business partner comes in your organization, even when you did not recruit that person, there's a bonus paid out when they get their minimum customers within their first 30 days. So how many of you realize that depending on what position you hold in the company, you'll earn bigger bonuses even when other people are getting others involved? So think about this. If you're in one of the mid-range positions like national director, that's what that ND stands for. It's $55 that you can earn on every single person that comes in and gets their initial customers. So if 10 people came in a week, how many of you wouldn't mind $550? So there is no limit to what you can do, and depending on where that person comes in, it will determine how much is paid out. But just understand, the numbers get bigger as you go to the right. Now you may be thinking, well, no, it dropped down to 30 after the 55. But you have to realize when you're an SVP, you're also a national director. So if you became an SVP in our business and then you recruited somebody yourself, and there is no leader in between you and that person, you'll pick up the 30, the 55, the 60, and the 25 on one person. So folks, there is some serious income potential in this compensation plan. So you have to realize then everybody's focus, and this is what I teach everybody, shoot for getting to the vice president positions. Because when you become a senior vice president, you start to get some benefits. You get some perks in the business. Like, for example, you get stock options in the company. Now, we're privately held, but if, in fact, we ever go public, you'd love to have some stock options in one of the fastest growing privately held companies in the nation. Not only that, but you get a BMW payment. You qualify for up to $800 a month towards any silver BMW that you choose as a senior vice president. Also, Global Links bonuses based on the fact that you're getting Global Links customers, an annual vacation for all the newly promoted senior vice presidents and all the top producing senior vice presidents. Not only that, but also you can qualify for an expense account. So you've got a bunch of perks that come with just hitting the position of senior vice president. And we've got so many individuals that have done that, and we're so proud of them. But guess what? They are focused on another position. The position they're focused on is called Platinum Senior Vice President. Now, I've said for years, and I'm going to continue to say this, the game changes when you hit Platinum. Notice I say when, not if. Because when you decide to take this seriously and you become a Platinum SVP, the perks are out of this world. How about first and foremost, the company wants to show you their token of appreciation by awarding you with a Bentley, just for hitting the position. Now, let me tell you this. I was blessed to be the first person in the company to accomplish that, first one to get the Bentley. But let me tell you what I'm more proud of is the fact that so many others have done the same. Because I can tell you right now, if I can do it, every single one of you can do it. And it's one thing to have a Bentley, but it's another when you've never seen the note. Am I right? That's worth it in itself. But not only that, how about you get to participate in a platinum revenue pool where a portion of the revenue from the company and the customer base goes into a pool so that at the end of the year, that pool pays for these Bentleys and then also gets split amongst the rest of the platinum SVPs in the company. And we are looking for so many people to hit the position of platinum SVP. Then also you get additional stock options just for getting that done. So I'm telling you right now, it is some serious income potential in this company. And every single one of you can get this done. Now you might be thinking, well, how do I get started? There are two positions to start, and I respectfully want to focus on one, which is called independent marketing representative. You can get started at $99 at the customer representative position. But there's a position called independent marketing representative that will allow you to capitalize on everything that we're doing. Now in my career in this industry, it has always been double the cost of what it costs for us to get in this company. Because it's $249 for you to become an independent marketing representative in our company. And I'm telling you, I don't care what the price is. You're going to always have three types of people that look at this type of business. And all three of you are in this arena tonight. A number one person says, you know what, Steve, it looks good, but it's just not for me. I've always said, God bless you. Second person says, you know what, Steve, this looks good, but I've got some questions. We've got answers for you. Third person says, we could have stopped 15 minutes ago. This is a no-brainer. I'm in. And I've always said congratulations to you. Now, I'll tell you this. In all my years of experience in this, I will tell you this. I've only seen a few reasons why somebody would not do this. Number one, they didn't understand everything. Number two, they don't believe what we're saying. Number three, they honestly feel they don't have time. And number four, they don't have any startup money to get started. And let me touch on those before we wrap up. Number one, if you didn't understand this, don't worry about it. That's the least of your concerns. If you just get the concept, that's all you need. And I want you to think about this. You didn't know everything the first day on your job, but you stuck around for a paycheck. And some of you did that years ago and you're still there. And some of you still don't know what you're doing, but you're there. But here's the thing. You don't have to know everything. But just understand, here's what our concept was. Let me get this straight. This is what we asked ourselves when we first looked at this industry. I said, let me get this straight. I can make money on an unlimited amount of people that are going to pay a bill, but it's not just a bill. It's a bill that has to be paid every 30 days, and that bill that's paid every 30 days can't be paid off. And you're telling me the company is not putting a limit on how many thousands or tens of thousands of customers that I don't even have to know personally are going to pay this every month bill that can't be paid off. Is that what you're telling me? And when the answer was yes, I'm in. So I'm telling you right now, if you get that concept, welcome to the family. Second person says this, I just don't believe it. There are some people that just don't believe what we're saying. And all I'm saying is thank God you didn't look at this industry back in our day. We didn't have magazines. We didn't have big write-ups. The company wasn't 50 million. We didn't have any of that stuff. We just got in on faith. Sometimes you got to jump off that cliff and build your wings on the way down. But that type of thinking put us in a position where we're wealthy today. So you have to realize that if you don't believe what we're saying, go do your due diligence. Check out everything that we're sharing. Read the magazines that we've been featured in. And come back and see us because we'll still be standing strong and growing like crazy. Third person says, you know what? I just don't know if I have time. And let me just tell you, that one always gets me. Because I don't get that. What do you mean you don't have time? Everybody's got 24 hours in a day. You got the same amount of time as anybody else. It's what you do with your time that determines the result. So many people are busy, and I was one of them back in the day. But I was busy broke. I was constantly working with nothing to show for it. And I'm telling you right now, most people are busy because they're 100% responsible for their income. All that simply means is that if you slow down, so does the income. God forbid if something happens where you stop, so does the income. So that's a scary situation. That's why people think, I'm busy. I can't look left, can't look right. I got to do what I got to do. But let me just ask a common sense question. Although I know common sense is not always common. Let me ask this question. If you could have 10 people generating income for your family, would that be a good thing? Look, if 2 of them got sick, can 8 of them still outwork you alone? Well, if you can have 10 people generate you income, would it be better to have 200? Would it be better to have 2,000? How many of you wouldn't mind 20,000? How many of you wouldn't mind being in a position like some of us where you got 30, 40,000 people that you don't even know all of them, but every time they do something, you get a piece of what they do? How many of you would love that? So you can't tell me you don't have time for that, because that gives you your time back. You understand that? So many people are running after that dollar at work, but if they had a choice of staying home, they would. That's why they invented a snooze button, right? Here's the thing. Third person says, you know what? Or the last reason says, you know what? I just don't have the money. And I'll tell you this respectfully. I didn't have money when I first looked at this industry. But that was the reason I got in. Because I said to myself, I'm college educated, graduated with honors, but I'm looking at an opportunity that makes a whole lot of sense to me, and I don't have the money that it takes to get in. So I had to ask myself, Steve, how long have you had that problem? And what are you going to do to fix it? And I just said to myself, if not this, then what? If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? You've got to realize right now, so many people are getting ready to think about, hopefully one day, probably thinking of starting. That's called procrastination. And that'll never get people wealthy. So I'm telling you right now, if this is making sense to you, don't hesitate. Get started. Because we're going to show you exactly how we're going to make history together and take this company to $1 billion company. And all I want to say is this. If right now $500 is an issue, what I truly believe you should do is look at the person that invited you here and thank them for getting you here. Because we want to erase those type of issues in your life permanently. Nothing to be ashamed about. 97% of the population out here works for the other 3%, which lets me know most people don't know how to make big money. So be careful who you listen to. Listen to the 3%ers. Listen to those of us that have accomplished what you're trying to accomplish, and we'll show you how to do what we do. I just believe in a simple philosophy that if I can do a thing, I can teach a thing. That's very simple to me. I can show anybody in this room that's serious how to become a double platinum senior vice president. I don't have a doubt in my mind about that. But you got to be willing to do what it takes. The price of freedom is paid up front and in full. You got to participate in your own rescue. And many people just need to learn how to do that. And that's what we're here for as mentors. So we've got leaders in this room that want to support every single one of you. Look, we've got people right now in this room that have hit the position of executive trainer. That's our first position. If you've hit ET, just stand up and turn the lights on and let everybody see you. If you're an executive trainer, look around. If you're an executive director, please stand up. That's the next position you can hit. Look around and clap. And if you're a national director, stand up and let's look around and give them a round of applause. And last but not least, if you are senior vice president or platinum, stand up and look around, folks. Now, here's what I love. I really genuinely feel like all the individuals that just stood up is a part of my family. All of these individuals are part of my family. I love every single one of them that stood up. You know why? Because it's easy to love somebody that has a common destination. Everybody in this room wants freedom, and we know it. So we're going to lock arms together and get this thing done. And although you got a chance to see the executive trainers, executive directors, national directors, senior vice presidents, some platinums in the room, let me tell you the most important people in the room. It's the leaders of tomorrow. We always like to recognize the leaders of tomorrow. So here's what I want to do as we close. If this is your first time here, I don't care if you don't have $249 on you now. That's not my concern. But if what you've heard makes sense, and you've got the good Lord whispering in your ear saying, this is why I sent you here, all I want you to do is stand up so the 5 Links family can give you a round of applause, and let's acknowledge it. Matter of fact, come on up stage, my brother. Come on up stage. Come on up stage. Come on. All of you, come on up stage. Give them a real 5 Links round of applause to all the new family members getting started. Let them hear it, 5 Links. Let them hear it. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations, brother. God bless you. God bless you. Keep your hands clapping for all the new family members joining this team. We're going to create history together. They're still coming from the back. Come on down. Make them feel good. We're going to fill this entire stage up. Come on up here, everybody. We're all family. Keep your hands clapping, family. Let's let them hear how we roll. Let them come on up. Come on up. Keep on coming. Scoot on up a little bit. Come on up. Let's get everybody here in a position to change their lives. Come on up. We're going to squeeze everybody in here. We love each other. Come on. We can stand next to each other. 5 Links. Is this incredible or what? Come on up. Keep them coming. Look at all these new people that want to change their lives, folks. Keep them coming. Now, come on. Here's what I want to do. This is incredible. I want to just very briefly, as we close this, I want to address all of you. The first thing I want to say to you, congratulations. Every single one of you, congratulations, and God bless you. Now, here's another thing I want to say. I want you to understand that you've already done what I think is the most difficult step in getting started in a business like that. And that's just standing up and stepping forward. So many people will look at something like this, and because they're apprehensive and because they're a little nervous, which is all natural. I mean, we were the same way. Lord, please don't let them take our money. But listen, we understood that. And the thing that we want you to know is that you are now in business for yourself, but you are not in business by yourself. And here's how I can prove that. 5 Links, do we have their back or what? So now, all I mean is that, look, you guys have an army of people behind you, willing to support you, willing to push you up, willing to help you get it done. Because the genius of this compensation plan is the more successful we can help you become, the more successful we become by default. So this is a win-win for every single one of us. We don't earn any money just for getting you in. If you were to pay your $249 and not do anything, nobody wins. We don't make any money, nobody's successful, and all that does is that creates negative stories out there because people say, well, I was in that thing, I didn't make any money, and it doesn't work. And we all know bad news travels 16 times faster than good news. So we don't want that. We don't want anybody standing on this stage to invest some money into this business and not become successful. So we are going to take you step by step by the hand. There's no guesswork in this at all. Many of you that are here that this is your first time ever seeing anything conceptually like this, you are not going to have to say, well, okay, well, what do I do next? Because we're going to have everything laid out to you systematically. Where we're going to say, here's a sheet. I want you to go through everything step by step. And we are right here to handle everything with you. I like to jokingly tell people that we're not going to send you bear hunting with a switch. We're going to be right there with you with a bear trap. And we'll help you get it done. And so we love every single one of you. We're looking forward to each and every one of you having tremendous success. And I can promise you this, we will be the loudest ones cheering for all of you when you're crossing that stage and having the kind of success that many of us have been blessed to have had. So 5 Links, are we proud of every single one of them? So listen, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let's rock and roll. Let's make this company $1 billion. Let's put this company on the map, and let's make history together, everybody. God bless you. I love you, and I love all the new partners. Take care, everybody.